About the only thing I can say to you here tonight is, Donald Trump, yeah!
All right. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 420 wrestling hour, where it's always 420. We're sparking up some cannabis, and we're also sparking up some high-minded pro wrestling conversation.
Yeah.
I am Over Easy. With me, as always, we got JB Bad. What are you smoking today, JB Bad?
Oh, come on. We got that new setup. We own that Gushers. We're going to try that new
Ooh.
Gushers.
Dude, when's the last time you actually had a gusher?
Before I realized that their whole ad campaign was about ejaculating in your mouth, I had to go ahead and put that down. Speaking of ejaculating in your mouth, we got Ariel.
Ariel. That is true. I have been known to come in a few mouths. Anyways, I'm smoking mild sauce. Chicago
mild sauce.
Chicago mild sauce. It's sweet.
I've
baby.
never
it's
heard of the mild sauce.
Sweet
I like
tangy.
I like that.
Oh my
I
god!
like that.
So Gushers, yeah. Meanwhile, I just wanted to have like a nostalgic little conversation about one of my favorite childhood fruit snacks.
And you saw,
and JB
you
Bad
saw where we took
it into an ejaculation metaphor.
It was cool. It was all an ejaculation metaphor.
Well, that's all.
Yeah,
good.
they put in your mouth. You the juices are flowing. It's ridiculous. Like, how do you let this on TV?
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm smoking.
I don't even know.
I put the flour into a different container that has a name of an older thing, and it's some sort of sweet sour something like that sativa, but I've really enjoyed it because I've been having mostly indica leaning hybrids lately, and I switched it up with a nice sunny sativa. It's been getting me through these gray days.
I feel that.
This shit smells like a damn like I cut open a grapefruit. It smells so good.
I got a mojito gummy that I'm staring longingly at, but I don't think I'm gonna try that. Those don't work on me like I want them to. So if I put it in,
you and me both.
Yeah, I'd just be wasting a the
I literally have to eat like 6 of those gummies to feel something. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a tolerance thing. I don't know.
Chiba Chews. I took 2 the other day. Went to bed. And I went to work the next morning at 9 a.m. I swear I was still high. I had to be.
See, that's what
I want that experience.
That's why we love you, man. It's just your gentle spirit. You take in all weed like a newborn baby. Just like,
hey,
you gotta love it.
Budget. I'll take it.
Hey, get it.
You love that. We love to hear it. Anyway, we're high on weed, but are we high on wrestling this week? Are we high on wrestling? We're recording this on a Sunday, so we got a week of WWE and AEW at least behind us. What are you guys high on this week? Shit.
Well, we did have a whole AEW pay-per-view.
Since we've had an episode, we have a full gear happen.
Full gear. They only got 4 of these a year. You know, they do it old school, so we gotta talk about these when they happen.
And I like that. Yeah. I really do.
Gives you a break.
Did you guys both watch it?
I mean, I tried. I've caught up with that. I started watching. I did like an old NXT dive, and then after I finished that, I watched everything from Eddie Kingston's first match up till now. So yeah, that's been my
dang.
That's about where I am.
You mean you're catching up on AEW Dynamite?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, did you guys both watch Full Gear?
Oh yeah, but no, I've watched Full Gear too, so I'm fully current.
I got you.
So
you're
invested.
Definitely more of a tried and true AEW watcher. In full disclosure, Ariam and I, we're more casual AEW fans. Yeah. I'll just say it. They have things on a weekly basis that pull me in, but I have not been pulled in so much that I think I need to watch the whole show. I'll just say it. Maybe that makes me an idiot.
I think that's fair to say. I think something I'm going to bring up later is the women's division in WWE is unparalleled. And I just saw that on each brand, honestly, this week. I was just like very excited. And I think something that doesn't get me excited about AEW is there's so much left to be desired there. They just don't really know what they want to do. Hikaru Shida is awesome. Thunder Rosa
Why is their women's belt
awesome.
So small?
Yeah. Why is their women's belt so small?
Why is it so small? It just makes it seem insignificant, right?
They need to work that out. Like that is their weak spot, but their strong side is their tag team wrestling.
That's fair.
And if you watch Full Gear, you may have seen one of the greatest tag team matches you'll ever see. Like,
wow, okay.
It's
Young
Let's
Bucks.
talk about it.
Well, I mean,
Young Bucks,
FTR.
FTR. That's fair.
Yeah, baby. Like, that's AEW. AEW has that on lock. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I think there are a finite amount of great anythings anywhere. And we spoke on the last podcast about how it's cool watching the 4 greatest women wrestlers possibly of all time going at it at the same time. Well, if all 4 are in one place, well then, there's going to be a bit of a dearth everywhere else you go.
Yes.
Like, AEW has the 2 best tag teams in the world, at least. So
does that mean they're not out there?
They're not out there,
or
but
are they just not building them and finding them and building
you can't
them?
Who are the 2 best tag teams?
And you got FTR and Young Bucks.
You think? Okay, it's a fair assessment, but FTR is your second.
You're claiming those are the best 2 tag teams
in
all
of
in the
wrestling?
biz.
And you could swap them out like however you want it.
You gonna do Breezango like that?
You gonna do Nia and Shayna like
do
that?
them like that.
Hey, now, okay, I'm sorry. I repent. I repent from what I've said. And maybe I'm a victim of the hype and the story, but like I'm just enjoying the work, and no one else is carrying themselves with that weight. No one else, as we talked about how teams are done, no one's else trying to be a team like the FTR and Young Bucks.
I don't know about that though. I mean, if you
like, who's
I'm
trying
not
to be a team
like a
like
WWE
that?
stan. I'm not going to be like super kick, but
yeah.
I think the Street Profits are like a legitimate tag team, and they're
good,
great in the ring, and they're more entertaining to me than FTR. And I think like in ring wrestling is like a part of it for me, but then also like your character, you have to be interesting on film. And I don't know that FTR always is for me.
Street Profits is young in the game. They are far too young in the game to be part of this big boy conversation.
I disagree.
I think
I disagree.
They have a fine
babies.
future ahead of them. They're not babies, but like they've been on like national TV for what? 2 years?
The thing I think is different with the Street Profits that doesn't put them on that level is that with the Profits, you have a clear star.
It's clear.
You have a clear star in that tag team. One guy is going to break off and could go to the moon. D'Angelo, I love him, but is he going to go to the moon? No. FTR, Young Bucks, I mean...
They are each other.
They are each other. I mean, maybe one of them could go on one of the Bucks could go on a singles run because they're charismatic guys, but those are
stars,
tag teams.
That makes them a more concrete tag team. Like,
no,
you know what I mean? Like,
no,
the thing with New Day was we always thought that Big E could go, and be a star. We always thought that Kofi could go be a star. But I don't think anyone doesn't see that that's like one of the best tag teams of all time.
Well, we didn't see that till they put in like a 5-year run of greatness. Like, Street Profits, talk to me in 3 years when Street Profits puts together that run, and I'm with you. I'm on their side. I'm a big fan.
I don't even know if they'll be a tag team.
I guess what I'm saying is like for me, FTR hasn't done that run of a New Day either.
They made tag team wrestling in NXT.
Yeah, no.
They made
the Revival and American Alpha.
Come on now.
Those were some of the best tag exchanges
they made.
I've seen.
They created the myth that we're still running on the DIY story that was created.
The DIY
running
as well.
in
That too.
through them. Like they are the Their storyline was one of the standard bearers of the foundations of this belt that I'm holding. Like FTR
why do you think
is the truth.
That's why the Young Bucks wanted to get him so bad.
I'll concede to y'all.
They had a storyline going when FTR was in WWE. They had a storyline going with being the elite.
I'll concede to y'all, but they bore me.
Well,
no, it's all
opinion. But like I'll say with this match was like did everyone watch the tag team match?
I did watch the tag match.
Man, that was a stinking history lesson.
I think it was classic.
It was a classic. Yeah. They started off as the Freebirds, and they went through the Brain Busters, and the next thing you know, out come the Hardys, and out come the Heart Attack, and they are walking you through the history of tag team wrestling and all the great moves and all the great spots and all the great strategies, cutting off the ring. The high flying stuff, I forgot the guy who made his name being the injured babyface in every match.
Yeah,
he was so great at just being beaten up, and then his partner would come in and be the hot tag. Hot tag was fine, but it was the guy selling the whole match. Like you had that storyline. They had every bit of what makes tag team wrestling a money making industry in one match, and they showed you how it worked. And that ending, oh my gosh, that ending. The no flips, just fist guy saying, I'm going to flip and land on you and busting his butt and getting kicked in the face. That's how you close that stuff.
It's poetry.
That's how, come on, that's a story, baby. That is
You're
a
right.
story. Come on now.
Yeah, they didn't, and the Young Bucks really didn't rely on the spot fest kind of thing. The FTR is a kind of a perfect foil for that. They put an end to that shit right away because they're expert tag teams, both of them. So yeah, it was an excellent match. Down to the working of the foot that was happening. Yeah. I mean, just really detail oriented shit. That was it's classic stuff.
It's like it's a history lesson. Like if anybody who's been watching tag team wrestling for any part of their wrestling life will see something like, there's 3D, there's the Hardys, that's what I loved about wrestling. Like they had it. They had it all.
JB Bad is high as hell on this tag team championship match. And new tag team champions, the Young Bucks.
I didn't expect that. Because they sucked me into the story. As I think about it now, of course. As I think about it now, of course.
You mean when they said, if we lose this, we'll never challenge for the tag team championship again. I was like, of course, they gotta win. They're the Young Bucks. They gotta hold the tag championships of AEW. They started this.
That's what we thought of Cody.
Yeah,
that's what we thought of Cody Rhodes.
But then they started that mid card belt, and he made it relevant. So,
like they could have done with a better build to the match. Yeah. I will say that they had a smart build. But it wasn't the most exciting build. Like, they needed to establish that the FTR was the other great tag team. And they beat everybody. They literally boom, 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 beat everybody else to build towards this match. Kind of fast. I'll give them that. And what the Young Bucks stuff was doing was a little subtle and could have used a little more pomp and circumstance behind the storytelling of it. But still, like, just the 30 plus minutes they put in that ring, man. Woo! Woo, child.
Good shit. Good shit.
My man.
What else AEW in Full Gear? I mean, we can kind of go into Full Gear and what else is just going on with AEW storylines. We don't talk about it a ton on the show. This is episode 3. Yeah. So we had Eddie Kingston. Oh my God, yes. Our valiant attempt at video content. But WWE's copyright guys, they're on the fucking ball.
We didn't forsake you for a week. We tried and we were just defeated soundly.
Exactly. We kicked out on 2.5 and the match is still going on. We'll let you know. We will let you know who comes out victorious. Technology or the 420 WWE. Fantasy Hour.
They come out on top.
Exactly.
They come out
probably.
You had the Hangman Omega match. That was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun with that one. I love the reemergence, the rebuilding of the motherfucking cleaner. Kenny Omega happening here.
Yeah, I like they're building that. What else do we have? I'm glad the Sammy Guevara Matt Hardy match is done. Like, let's just be done with that.
Yeah. I was kind of.
What they spoke a little on Dynamite. Like, I think that promo he put on him is the truth about it. Like, you're going to be a big star. You lost, but you lost to an iconic wrestler. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm glad it's done. The as we spoke earlier, the Nia Rose match, the women's championship match was okay. It was okay. I'm not a Joshi fighter fan.
Nah, yeah. It's not pulling me.
No.
It's not pulling me. Nothing on the women's side is pulling me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. There aren't enough characters, there isn't enough drama. I don't know.
The belt's too small. It's not a big deal.
Although, like,
it's not a big deal.
Nothing makes that belt look better than seeing it next to the NWA Women's Championship.
I don't remember what that
exactly.
looks like.
It looks like your belt looks better than that belt.
Oh
my goodness, man. They need to go to.
Is that Thunder Rosa? Was she the NWA Women's?
Yeah, she lost that to an AEW wrestler who doesn't have a winning record in AEW yet, which is very troubling every time they have to put that up there.
Interesting.
So
I do like Thunder Rosa a lot.
Yeah.
I think she could bring some credibility to the women's scene there.
And I think that's just all it needs. It just it just needs time to build. And I think time as in years. Time is in actual years to build.
Sometimes you forget it's a very, very young promotion. Yeah. They got to build stars.
We are right now in the Alundra Blaze portion of this game with AEW.
Wow, it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We just expected them as the company that comes out as we're the progressive alternative to WWE, that some of those things would come easier, but then they do some things that just make you scratch your head, and that's kind of what we were talking about maybe before we got rolling with what happened on Dynamite and Brandy Rhodes and her promo on our new women's competitor in AEW, who, by the looks of her, has some unreal potential, but by the sound of her, you wonder why she was given the green light to talk as much as she did.
I don't know. I was like, is she related to Shaq? Is she a package deal with Shaq?
Yeah, and then we're going into the Shaq thing.
Yeah. I don't hate that so much, but before I want to put a pin in that. We want to speak on our world champion real quick, because he did have that whole match with Eddie Kingston before we move on to Dynamite.
Yes, he did. Yes, your hardcore match.
What'd you think about that?
Blood and guts. Vince McMahon, he said it was blood and guts. It was just blood and guts and nothing else. And when I see that match, I can't disagree with the genius Vince. This was gore. It was disgusting. It was unnecessary. I didn't need to. No, I'm just kidding. It was pretty badass. It was pretty badass.
I wish my stunned silence doesn't read online.
Yeah, no, I was watching that on a chill, late morning, early afternoon, and when I was finishing that AEW Dynamite up, and it was just I was not ready for that sort of carnage that early in the day, but it was some barbed wire there, making me cringe.
That build was incredible.
But I was gonna say, yes, that whole video package beforehand, how real they made those stakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
everything.
I really, really, really fucking wanted Eddie Kingston to win that match, and I don't watch AEW regularly, and I really wanted him to win. I thought there was a chance.
Yeah, and that's all, and I think I just kind of wonder, like, as a performer, that's the goal, I guess.
No doubt,
being the guy who's going to be like the world champion of a federation, like that. A lot of that is just kind of up to what you were born with, Right? Are you 6 foot this? Are your shoulders built like this? A lot of times, like but everybody might have a chance under their own skill for a shining second to make you believe it could be them.
Yes,
like that's what's actually within your power as a wrestler. And my goodness, did he pull that off?
That's a really fantastic.
He's got
point.
that in spades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just that good at making you root and believe
for just a second.
Just,
John Moxley's the literal number one wrestler in the world. We ain't doing that. We all know that going in there. But can he give us 30 seconds, 4 moments where you go like, maybe, or just worried what will happen for Kingston when he does lose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, something, feel something.
And that was an example of an I Quit match that I found myself at no point being like, this is so stupid. I don't get the logic of this match, which was exactly what we were talking about with Roman and Jey Uso. It was just like, it didn't make sense that they were literally passing each other out and not saying it. But somehow AEW made that really effective drama for me.
That was the gore. That was the gore factor. Gave you more things to hurt.
I think you're right about that. Yeah. God damn it.
Like tables and thumbtacks and all other reasons to quit that aren't like submission holds.
That's what it's missing. Yeah, so. And then when he's literally choking the dude out with barbed wire, it's like, you got to gasp, I quit.
Yeah. He
crazy.
Did it just right across the face. Like it was
perfect.
Yeah, good stuff.
You barely hear him say it, but he says it with just the way that he delivered that I quit line, just barely saying it. You knew that there's nothing else in the world that he wanted to do. But it's Moxley. Yep. He's a powerful guy. And now it looks like we got a little Moxley Omega.
Yeah, baby. Coming up Wednesday. I'm watching that one live.
You think it's finally time for the cleaner to be AEW champion?
I mean, I don't know, man.
Is it time? Is Moxley's reign done?
Nah. I think this is the man to do it. This ain't the time.
Do you think it's going to be a series of matches, like a series of 3, and maybe he'll take it off him after 3? Or are they going to bounce around and then bring him back?
I think, I don't even know. I think they gotta do something with this, because I think John's going to win this first one. I think John's just going to win this first one.
It is on like AEW Dynamite, right? It's not on pay-per-view.
No, it's on Dynamite.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is their first official match.
It's got to be a bigger deal.
Like, they had the unsanctioned match at last Full Gear.
Okay.
So
that's right.
And John won that one. So Kenny's like, no, that one don't count. I think John's going to show you, I'm going to make this one count.
Let's wrestle this time.
So I think that we're heading to I think we're going to get a nice bloody series between these guys.
I hope so. I'm into that. And then what else is going on? We got Jericho and MJF and Warlow both joining the Inner Circle. Mm-hmm. So we got a big old faction on AEW, 2 big men. It's kind of interesting what they're doing, and now apparently they're going to Vegas next week.
Yeah.
So we might get some more sketch comedy, maybe some more musical sketch comedy. I'm here for it.
Then we're gonna get some entertaining stuff out of them for the next month before somebody turns heel on somebody else.
I can't wait, and I love the comedy. I love comedy wrestling. I love it. I love comedy bits. It's my favorite thing.
Well, let's get Ariam in on here by talking about a show he actually watched.
I know, Ariam's just been smoking and
smoking and listening.
AKA the canary over here has been silenced. The canary has been silent.
You always check in when we've gone too far down the AEW rabbit hole because our canary will stop chirping. So,
let me ask you, Ariam, did our discussions?
I like AEW actually. I just haven't watched recently. But
I dig it.
Did our conversation about it make you more excited to tune in the future?
But if we will be spending that amount of time on it, I will definitely be tuning in. But definitely not.
Bury the last 20 minutes
more excited.
Ariam, Aaron would like you to know the last 20 minutes of our show weren't that interesting.
No, that's not true. Y'all sound great, and y'all have amazing thoughts about not as exciting material.
Well, there's some good shit.
No, for sure. Yeah, Omega's just boring.
But how you fuck up bringing Rusev, Miro over there? I don't want to talk about AEW all day, but that got me really excited to start tuning in. When I found out he was over there, I was like, now I'm watching every week. They got Miro, and he's just fighting about video games or something. Why isn't this guy in a feud with like Brian Cage or somebody like huge and major? Like it just seems so lower mid card from my guy Miro.
It's like what's the point bringing him out now if that's what you're gonna do?
I don't get it.
He didn't come in shape.
Oh,
maybe that's it. Maybe is that it?
The first couple matches were a little woo. Wait. He's just been twitching too much. Twitching and eating, I guess. I don't know. Come on. Yeah, it's weird. I think if we were at all connected with his Twitch persona, this would work for us.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's what AEW tries to do. Is like if you have something that you have a connection to in your
make it real.
Speaking of Twitch, RIP Zelina Vega's contract.
You know what? Actually, let's cook on that. Go ahead, Aaron. We ain't heard from you. Go ahead and cook.
Man, honestly, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. Maybe you guys will both agree, but I kind of agree with her. Like, Vince, do you really get to control every section of a person's life and hobbies? Like, I guess if you're paying them enough, then you can, but no. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. I think she's a good talent. I think she's an interesting manager, like interesting to watch. She's good in the ring. I don't know. I think it's more of a loss for WWE than I think she'll definitely bounce back, but it just seems like it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion at all.
No,
I think
they did her foul.
Most people. I mean, they're not paying them enough to control their lives. In fact, they're independent contractors. It's a shitty situation to be in for people who are putting their bodies on the lines like that. Normally, virtually every day of the year when they're touring, but. I mean, this is something that we haven't talked about a ton on this show, but I know I texted you guys when that came out, when we were talking about her getting fired, about Andrew Yang is a big voice he's a wrestling fan, and he's been a big voice talking to a lot of several WWE people anonymously about like, yo, if we get the Democrats in here and can somehow get more of a control of the Senate, we're coming for Vince McMahon. Like they have things they can do, and I don't want to talk out of turn because I don't know all the facts and I'm ignorant on it. But he was talking about this on his podcast with Dolph Ziggler. He did a podcast with Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. He was on both of their podcasts talking about WWE and politics and how it's just not an equitable situation, to say the least. Obviously, Vince McMahon is not progressive by any means. So
for those who say, I don't want politics in my wrestling, a wrestler who has a job and fans just got fired for saying they support unionization. Congratulations, politics is in your wrestling. So boom, there it is. Like that is foul.
Foul.
Vince McMahon created a faction based off of Antifa. So politics is in your wrestling.
Yeah, like
shut him down.
Oh my god!
Like,
shut him down.
but just,
I do love that theme song. It's pretty
I
fire.
hate you so very much. But just to fire her for even saying she is in support of unionization.
So let me get this straight. Because I thought that she was let go, and then she tweeted she supports unionization.
I heard it,
but was she fired as a result of that tweet?
I heard it went the other way.
See, that's just ice fucking cold.
You know, maybe it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
I think it was. I think I heard it was the other way that JB said as well. But she had also refused to like give up her Twitch and Cameo accounts, so that was something they knew already.
They're already pissed at her for the things you were talking about, and then she came out and said, "You know what? I support unions for all the reasons my boss is pissed at me behind the scenes that I'm not actually talking about." And they were like, "You know what?
My hope is that,
why don't you go get and just die then somewhere else?" Go die. I don't care where you work.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Like,
it makes me not want to watch. There's so many things WWE does that makes me not want to watch or pay them for the network.
And that's why the Young Bucks are the greatest tag team of all.
Come on, AEW.
Come on.
Do a little bit better, and I won't have to watch
with me, Ariam.
Full circle.
Come back to us.
Hey man, they gotta get somebody in that women's division.
Maybe this is my wake up call right here on the 420 Wrestling Hour. I gotta put more passion into AEW.
You gotta believe. You gotta invest in the stories so that those little dumb things matter, and you don't pay attention to the fact that Kenny Omega missed his whole moonsault. You don't know it's okay. It's okay because I'm invested.
It's okay. It is okay.
But
it's not always going to be good, but at least they don't have like a partnership with fucking, Saudi Arabia, and they're not firing people for supporting unions.
They're celebrating. Look at this.
They should be joining Screen Actors Guild. They are television actors.
Look, we just complained about Miro bringing his video games into his real character, and Zelina's getting fired for her Twitches.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Wild. The differences.
So I think maybe she'll find a home at AEW. They need more talented women over there.
Well, I hope that doesn't lead to a problem with Aleister Black.
I mean,
oh shit!
I read something about him requesting to go back to NXT. Right. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think everybody south of Roman Reigns is asking.
They already fucked Aleister Black anyway.
Go back to NXT. They could just go back and we could pretend, Like if Keith Lee just took off his top and those little bralettes, and we'd forget.
Would we?
I'd forget. Because I want to forgive. I want to forgive.
Me too. I want so badly.
There's love in my heart to give to this man, and if he would just get rid of those like osh gosh bagosh things that he's wearing.
Is there a guy in like the last 5 or 10 years that was harder to fuck up than Keith Lee to make into a huge gigantic top of the card star?
I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura was a safe bet.
Shinsuke comes to mind.
He literally was already a big star.
I will say his gear, little fruit roll-up-y.
Hey, now I love those.
And that was what always kind of stopped me from connecting with him.
Hey, at least
he looked a little fruit roll-up-y.
I hate you.
He did.
Get your mans.
He did. Anyway. This is the beauty of the 420 Wrestling Hour. We can teeter all over the damn place.
I do want to talk about what I'm high on as far as Raw and SmackDown, man.
What are you high on?
I am high on how they are keeping the fire on Drew McIntyre. The boy is not cooling down. I feel like he had a great night on Raw. And then skipping ahead, man, showing up on SmackDown. I know we got brand splits and all those rules. I don't give a shit. When he showed up there to confront Roman, he
felt like a star.
It felt like a star. And I don't mean this lightly, and I also don't want to like overstate because these are two legends. But when I was watching him walk into Roman, I was like, Roman, I'm digging this. And then Drew McIntyre, I'm also digging this. It reminded me of like Rock in the ring and Stone Cold walking down. Those kind of a moment for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was such an exciting moment, man. Oh,
big time.
That's it. When two stars hit the ring, it hits different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that speaks to the work that he's done as a champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think no doubt.
I'm all for that.
Both of them are killing it.
So what do you guys think now? Because that was a huge pop for me. That when I heard his music, I was like, "What? He's on Raw!" Like, and I'm a guy who's always confused about brands, like we're talking about. So, and that again cemented it for me. Like, wow, Drew, they are really even without the belt, he has lost zero steam. So that big of a deal. I mean, do you guys think that Drew's going to take this right back off of Randy, and we're going to get Roman and Drew at Survivor Series, or is this something they're going to cook till like Mania?
Bro, I don't know, but that is something that I miss about like old school Raw. Like I felt like we used to get title switches more often, and I don't know if that's for better or worse, but I liked the unpredictability where a guy could lose it on Sunday and then just get that thing right back on Monday. And like, you know, like it rose the stakes for those rematches. And we don't see that happen as much anymore.
I'm with you, but I can only deal with that after the belt has meant something for good, after a period of good long reigns. Like I've seen too many hot shots. Like they haven't done too much of it in like the last year, but just over the last 5 years, I've seen too many title reigns for that. I kind of wanted to just let him stick for a bit.
Even with Randy Orton, who's had it 15
I mean,
times?
that's the thing. Like and Survivor Series, a title change before Survivor Series isn't a surprise anymore. Like it's happened the last 2 years. So this could be something. But I actually hadn't thought about letting it cook till Mania. Like that's actually a good idea too.
Shit.
You know?
I mean, it seemed like a big fucking deal when they were staring off.
It really did.
I had other hopes for people. Like I didn't think if you had asked me last week, like who if it's got to be Roman, who do you want him to face at Mania? I'm like, no, I don't. Drew's not as exciting. We had Drew at last Mania. Give me like Big E or somebody. Like let's build up somebody. But after seeing that, I'm like, shit. That gave me the feels, and I was high on that.
And there's a story there, you know, like.
And there's a story there. But they literally go off the air with this stare down. And it makes you. I mean, what we're trying to build to Survivor Series a week from today, and we're supposed to be excited for Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. It doesn't make sense. It looks like they're building to this match. I don't know. And we have them wrestling on Monday night, correct? Randy Orton and Drew for the title. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's giving it up.
Oh wow! Okay, I'm following.
Maybe that's what they. Maybe that's what they want us to.
I think they've effectively built to 2 matches. Yeah, they've built to a lot of matches there. You know, so that's what you want to do.
And man, it's surprising because I think this year I've given so much shit to WWE about their writing, but I'm surprised this week, man. I'm enjoying it. I really am, man.
This storyline is
I'm enjoying. I'm not enjoying everything, you know. I'm sure we'll talk about the 619 and short inspirational shorty.
The other thing about,
but like. As far as like the big championships right now, they are writing really well around those.
And we've had like a week or two where we're not focusing on the Fiend, which is perfect.
Yep.
Because as soon as we forget, whether it's Survivor Series or the Monday Night Raw after or SmackDown or whatever, he's inserting his ass back in, and I think they got and don't forget, Miz has the Money in the Bank. Like,
oh man,
it's good shit right now. I hate to, so I kind of hate to admit it because the execution's not always perfect.
That is the thing.
But the fact that we're able to talk about it like this means that there's something cooking. That I hope they keep up the momentum and don't fuck it up.
The execution always is kind of rough. Like I was thinking about Seth Rollins. I was looking over some SmackDown stuff, and I was like, Seth Rollins has really given us a lot of cool stuff. You know, he's been in the Shield. He's been the Architect. He's been, Monday Night Burn It Down. He's been Monday Night Rollins. He's been the Monday Night Messiah now. That's a lot of different characters and distinct ways of being he's given us. But the execution of all of those isn't always great.
That's true.
If you think about it.
True.
Like, the Architect is a cool character to play when you can also be the Monday Night Messiah. But the execution of both of those, if we remember, wasn't all it could have been. They were better as concepts.
I think the Messiah is his best character work as an actor, like getting into a character. But the other stuff, I'm with you. It just wasn't quite there.
Yeah. But still, like, that's that weird thing about WWE. If you step back and look at it from the macro, you're like, wow, they did this, and they gave us this, and they put these things together, and they threw that at us, and that worked, and, we got to see Kenta versus CM Punk somehow, and, these things literally happened, but,
when you're watching it week to week,
you see the execution, you're like,
that's always kind of been WWE. They can make a really great video package to hype you up before a match in a pay-per-view. And sometimes that's why I'm like, when I was not watching every week, when I was more of a lapsed fan and was just checking in on pay-per-views, that's all you really need to do. They have a great video production department. Mm-hmm. They wrap it all up in a sweet bow. They catch you up on the storyline, and you're like,
cut out all the
kind of
things
invested
that
in
didn't
this.
go well.
Yes, but the week to week kind of monotony that doesn't always stick, not always needed.
I think the greatest example I have of that is Daniel Bryan's monster package. Like, remember that part of this that part where everyone ran the ring and they're all like, yes, and there's a whole bunch of people. I happened to be watching that particular segment live. It wasn't that exciting. It was awkward and slow, and you could tell these people were planted, and it was not good. But when they put it next to Monster, and you saw those people hit the ring, they're like, yeah, I'm like, like sometimes I watch that video and I get hyped myself, just to watch it.
Framing.
And I think they put together a 15-minute segment that wasn't that great, but they stole 5 seconds of it that are just mwah, and that's going to live forever. And that's WWE.
Yep.
As
well said.
Yeah, that we may have boiled it down. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, good night, everyone.
We boiled it down for you.
But yeah, man.
I don't want to leave SmackDown or Raw without asking this question. I really got to ask you guys. How is Tamina still employed by World Wrestling Entertainment?
What do you mean? She was involved in that riveting qualifier match for the Women's Survivor Series team. Riveting. Let me try to name the wrestlers in this match.
I loved that match. That match was incredible.
Did you really?
Natalya, Liv Morgan going one-on-one because Kelsey Green got hurt.
Chelsea Green.
And Tamina couldn't figure out a single thing to do. So she just laid on the floor dead.
So sad. It's so sad.
She couldn't get in and like do an arm lock or a rest hold or get clotheslined over. She just died. Like, she just went away and came back at the end. Like, did she carry Chelsea to the back? I feel bad for Chelsea because she got hurt on her first main roster match.
No, they did Chelsea wrong.
That's pretty foul. It's pretty foul.
Oh, man.
That's EC3 levels of foul. But what happened to
she's
Tamina?
So good.
She is good. But so was EC3.
I mean, the right woman won, and we got to hear Liv's fire theme music.
So
again,
good.
Which I thought we might never hear again. It's fire.
But will we ever see Tamina again, though?
I hope not.
Will we ever see
Tamina?
Tamina?
Is she still laying at ringside?
Oh my gosh. I hope so. Too bad they taped there next week. Shit.
She just snuck in and did that belly to belly. I'm like, what in the world?
Oh gosh.
She came.
Oh my god.
Man, oh man.
She's like, I don't have any other part in this to get pinned, so I'm just gonna lay here.
Yeah, just everything on WWE right now surrounding the Survivor Series teams. I could not be less excited about, I guess, the actual Survivor Series matches. Yeah. It's just a name now. This pay-per-view, there's no stakes. A lot of people talk about this, but there's so many things you could do to make us care about these teams fighting against each other. But I've heard a lot of people suggest, making the ultimate survivor on each, the man and the woman ultimate survivor gets to be entrant 30 in the Royal Rumble. That's something. Just something.
I mean, heck, just do the matches. Like, they don't even do the matches, man. This is Survivor Series, man. This is a series. There are 2 matches.
Right.
It's the survivors of the series.
It's just a name now. It's just a name. They're not doing...
It's bragging rights.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't pop for bragging
Nobody
rights.
cares. No, none of us has... Do we have an allegiance to, like, I'm a Raw guy. I fucking hate SmackDown wrestlers. Nobody is
Roman tried to bring it with that. Nobody watches Raw.
That was
oh my
fun.
gosh, bro! He said something. He said, and when you think about Randy Orton, which I don't,
That's close.
So good, bro. Oh
Thunderdome
my
got
God. He's killing it right now, man. He's killing it.
Oh man, gosh!
With those tribal teeth, he got him.
Say suffering succotash. Like, how dare that guy?
Oh my God,
He's so cool.
So freaking cool.
He's the coolest. He's the coolest. And he finally got some fire in his voice, and it was effective when he was giving Jay a verbal licking. I was like, oh, he's not whispering now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad. I really love the layers they're putting into this storyline here. Like, Jay comes out and thinks, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I know how to do this now. No. Yes.
No, the point ain't for you to stick up for me. The point is you to do what I tell you to do.
Exactly. We need to make, and we're not out here to beat people. We're here to make them them understand or make them believe. Yeah, it's like, I like it.
How you
what else?
What do you think about Diet New Day?
Diet New
Day.
Great value. New Day.
You're not gonna do my 3 chocolatey men like that.
Now that's the thing, brother. I feel like I have to apologize because I'm such a big Street Profits fan, but like the way you just were willing to put him up there after 2 years, I feel like I came for him kind of hard, even though I, in and of myself, am a Street Profits fan.
Bro,
yes,
that segment was funny. I don't know what it is, man. They electrify me.
They're great,
truly, and I think
they're gonna be great.
Yeah. I thought the segment was good, but yeah, Diet New Day. That's a fucking fair point.
Diet New Day. How dare you?
I didn't think about that.
Vince
is like,
we're gonna
I'll
get
just
smoke.
stick 3 of them in there. I don't care if it's part New Day, part Street Profits.
Okay, let me say one thing that made me nervous today. I'm watching old Raws, and a wrestler that we all know popped up, and he shot in my mind, Biggie. And I hope Vince McMahon doesn't have this in his head. Coco Beware popped out.
Oh, no.
Exactly. Now, did you feel the shield go down your spine, my man Eric? Did it go down your spine? Did you feel it?
Actually, I have him. I think of him as somebody else from that era. Ahmed Johnson.
No, that's Ahmed Johnson was like 10 years later. Not 10 years, like a little
like
98.
Late 90s for sure. But I think about
Coco Bear is like early 90s.
Right. But I think pay-per-view wise, I don't think they might have been like 3 years off. But yeah,
Ahmed got more respect than Coco ever got.
Coco was on like at least 3 or 4 WrestleManias.
Doing what?
I don't know, man. Electrifying the audience. I don't know. He was entertaining. He was my brother's 8 years older than me, and my brother freaking loved him. So I don't know. I wasn't around for it.
I hope Vince doesn't see Biggie like that.
I hope not either. Especially if he didn't do nothing.
He was there, and the crowd loved watching him come out about much as they like when Biggie goes, "Oh, whatever your town is." They reacted with about that much fervor, and then they're
teasing a change, though. I mean, people are calling him out on various WWE programming for not being serious enough. And that's sort of his resistance right now. His character, I think, is resisting that New Day camaraderie silliness. And maybe I think they're going to start playing. And that's what I wish the Street Profits would do a little bit here to make us care a little bit more. Like, don't you miss your boys? Like, you're not, you don't seem like yourself anymore. And he kind of got crazy. He was like laughing like a madman with him. I was like, okay, maybe something's going on here where he's making him miss his boys. But
I can't quite tell who's gonna turn heel on who with this. And I do like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
like this could turn to a pretty fun heel Street Profits.
I would love to see that.
It would be if I would be very interested to see. Like
It'd
that
work.
would be one of those things I talk about. So like you show me that, then like okay, now we are talking about one of those great teams.
You know what would be interesting in that? I think Montez Ford is always the shining product of that tag team, but I could actually see a heel Street Profits really working out for Dawkins.
Sure.
I could see him really succeeding at that.
And I think that would be one of those things that would like push them. And like I said, I'm rooting for them. But that's a run like that, or just giving them the opportunity to do that would go a long way, showing me like, okay, you are one of those FTR young buck. You're on that level. You know, just it's not that they can't; they just haven't shown it to me yet. And I look so forward to them getting the chance to do so.
I hope so, but they could. I feel like they could turn them any day too.
It's kind of like what the Usos did for me. Like I liked the Usos fine, and then they became the Usos that we know, and I'm like, oh, that is special. Like,
oh shit,
putting the two sides of your career
ish.
together. Like, okay, this is you've accomplished something special over your long run. Like, you're bothered to do that.
Start talking about it. They came from the penitentiary.
They came from the loins of Fatu.
What else, yo?
I would love
here?
to talk about NXT if you guys are ready.
Yeah.
Unless you guys are ready.
Yeah, why not?
We want to talk about unpredictability. The start of NXT. I loved it. I thought it set up. I thought it set up a beautiful Damian Priest Johnny Gargano match that's gonna happen. And I think they're gonna be dope again. Like they're gonna steal the show. I thought Leon Ruff winning that, like, obviously didn't expect that at all. But I don't know that he necessarily should be holding that title, but I like that kind of stuff. I like when I don't see stuff coming sometimes, man, because sometimes this entertaining product, as much as I love it, I know where it's going, you know, all the time. It's like a movie I've seen before. But stuff like that, I'm like, shit, you got me that time. Definitely didn't see Leon Ruff taking home that title.
And they earned it. I'm saying because they don't do things like that all the time.
Yes.
They earned it.
Fair.
They earned it because they dangled it. I mean, it's just like this is the gimmick with Johnny is that he cannot retain the night after he drops it. Yeah. So it's like I just could not have loved this more. Johnny Gargano has finally come around to me to be this heel that is I really love. He's become a very effective heel when for a while I was like I just think he's too good of a good guy. He can't be bad, but now he's become just such a chicken shit. Yeah. I love it. He hates the wheels, then he loves the wheels, then he's but no, this Leon Ruff thing was incredible. So incredible.
I'll give him a week, 2 tops. You know, he's probably going to drop it on his first defense.
Literally drop it from his waist. It's a great gimmick.
Yeah, like that was NXT's Barry Horowitz moment.
You saw you saw the stock Triple H photo he always does where he's pointing to the dude with the belt and Ruff's got it down by his ankles because he's too skinny. I mean, come on, that dude Leon deserves that shit all day.
And what a meteoric rise for him.
Yeah,
true. Meteoric rise. Who got a singles title first? Him or Keith Lee? Like in their run. Like when did Leon?
You mean on the timeline of their runs? Yes.
Oh shit!
How long did it take Keith Lee to become a champion? Mm-hmm. Like Leon Rush is on a meteoric rise to the title. Next,
unfortunately, I think this may be the peak in plat and
oh, it has to.
Oh yeah, he'll be on 205
He's a fun guy
at some point. We all watch that.
No, he will not.
Well, hey, they need a new challenger for that cruiserweight championship. So maybe this is maybe they get it goes back to Johnny and then Leon Ruff's a cruiserweight guy. He can go compete for that championship because right now they don't really have anybody for that after that.
No, he's got too much muscle.
Seems like Jake Atlas is kind of done, but I do like that Jake Atlas guy. He's different.
I wish I did. I want to. I just
something's missing. Obviously, the tracksuit and everything. Something's generic, but there's also something different about him that's kind of new and not like the mold of WWE guys. He's kind of like hipstery. I don't know if that resonates with me.
I've been confused about him since I saw him. Like they said, his first interview, he said, "I'm out here to break through the stereotypes and let them know we're not what they think we are, and I never actually figured out what it was that. Like he never explicitly said it. Like I don't want to say because I don't want to project, but like he never did explicitly say it. So I don't know what.
You think it's a long
True.
build?
No, I don't think it is.
Or are we just supposed to assume or make our own assumptions?
I think I made an assumption, but
so did I. But I don't want to I don't want to mislabel.
Yeah, but if that is the assumption, I think they've dropped it. That's what I'm thinking.
I guess you're right.
I distinctly remember him saying that and me going, I wonder what he's going to break.
And why not lean into it? Why not go for it?
Because Balor Club's for everybody.
Exactly. Oh my god! But maybe I just love that cartwheel DDT. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like they were definitely kissing.
Maybe that's literally it.
I like him though. I don't know what he's going to be. Maybe he's going to be like the Kings of NXT. And one day after years of us not knowing what to do with him,
he needs to go somewhere.
He'll be something.
But what else is in NXT?
Kings of NXT.
I'm interested in this.
The Kings.
Go for it.
No,
this one's actually really quick, and then I'm moving past it. But I was really interested in that Xia Li segment. Raquel Gonzalez, Boa.
Yo.
What is happening? I don't know, man, but I was very entertained and excited.
I'm so in.
I'm nervous.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
I don't think it's gonna. Go ahead.
I would like to hear from an Asian American wrestling fan.
Sure.
Because
I respect
fair,
that.
Dude strolled out there. I'm like, okay, you're playing, and mostly because I just that morning watched an old Raw where they gave Tatanka his headdress, and I'm like, all right now, WWE got a bad track record when you start playing heavy with people's cultures and mysticisms. So I would love to hear.
Remember Val Venus's penis. Let's just remember.
They don't have a great track record when someone
Kai and Tai.
Mystical. So I'd love to hear from an Asian American fan what they think about it.
Funaki had a great run. Don't you start.
You have to leave.
Don't you start.
So there may be some appropriation here.
We're not sure.
It's close because like everybody in it seems to be of the right ethnicity at least. So
right.
Where's the line between like we're gonna do our thing, like something that they would appreciate back in our culture, or is WWE making Tatanka put on the headdress again? Man, I don't know.
We got Akira Tozawa is a movie ninja.
Exactly, like
so. The track record's not great. Not great.
But it is
something. It's something different, and it's mystical, and it's magical, and there's been a slow build to it. And without thinking about what you brought up, shame on me. It's been keeping me intrigued. Do I think? I don't know. It is NXT, so I was trying to compare it to like Eric Rowan's Cage or whatever. Like interesting things at first that then turn out to just be horrible because they just. Eventually they do it week after week, and you're like, I don't think that they have an end game here. I think we're just running the hamster wheel, and I hope that's not what's going on here. I hope there is an end.
Yeah. I think it is. Like even with you saw how NXT handles that kind of stuff. We got immediately we just got Indy Hartwell. Like they could have kept that going for a month and a half if it was on Raw. I'm so glad they didn't either, especially with that shit Scream costume.
Halloween's over.
Please get out of that costume.
I thought she was going to start coming out as like a Santa Claus or like a reindeer or something.
I like that. They disappeared her just long enough for me to forget that was a
thing. Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I knew it was Indy the whole time.
They got me by one. If they showed it 1 week earlier, I would have remembered, but I had just forgotten about it. Like, yes! I was like, oh, that's who it is. I felt real dumb when I saw it too.
But we'll keep our ear to the pulse of that storyline, and we'll see how offensive it gets, or if it's just where it's going to go. But he definitely marked his hand with something. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. And Boa's the first Chinese wrestler in WWE.
Oh, really?
Is that true?
I think so. I think they made a big deal of his signing.
I remember that. Yeah. So let's see this guy wrestle. Hopefully eventually.
That would be exciting.
Do you think that Johnny losing the belt is a sign about Finn's health?
Oh, you think that they're gonna put Johnny in the title picture?
We get the power couple.
That would be cool. That would be cool if they were going that way. I would be okay with it.
Promo him on NXT this week.
Finn, and I don't think it's looking good for Finn. So I think you might be right there.
Like that was maybe there was a plan to do a regular title run. Like, no, let's go this other direction because we got a vacancy.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. Because otherwise, who they putting that strap on? I mean, I guess Ciampa is a good guy again now, and he's feuding with Velveteen Dream.
I don't think Ciampa's a good guy so much as Velveteen Dream is a bad guy.
That's probably true. Just by default, he's the good guy in this scenario. But I don't know. We'll see where they go with that because at the top of the card, we got the Kings of NXT.
Where do you think Pete Dunne's going to wrestle?
Bro, I'm so interested because watching them, and I like Pete Dunne. He seems like the little brother of the whole thing, and I'm not digging that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I really like watching him, but I mean, obviously with the gold on 1-2, Orny, Lurkin, and what is it?
Yeah, the tag
Birch.
Danny Birch.
Birch and Lorcan, thank you. With the belts on them and Pat McAfee talking the entire time, really well, by the way. Not a slight at all. And then Pete Dunne just sitting there quiet, but like he doesn't have the stature of like, someone who
he
can.
He is the teensiest enforcer.
Yes, I think that's it. That's it. That's like messing with me. It's like he's just kind of tagging along. But he's the silent, strong type.
He's the enforcer.
Yes, but he's so small.
He's short.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is.
It's just you're Vince McMahon right now. This is why he needs to stay on NXT forever. Like or just no matter how mean he looks, he's small.
Or make him more aggressive.
He can't be more aggressive. He killed Killian Dane last week.
That's what got me. I'm like, see, I understand what you're saying about him playing that enforcer role, but being more of a bruiserweight. He's a cruiserweight body type, but I haven't thought that yet. Just because they're making him break fucking digits, and he's killing Killian Dane in a vehicle. I mean, he's coming off as very vicious. Everyone else is smiling and being chicken shit heels, and I'm like, Pete Dunne may murder all these guys before we.
That's a good point. They all make very good points.
I feel like he's a ticking time bomb, and he has not let an inch of a smile out. He's there to kick ass and murder people.
I could care to see some gold on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we need.
Maybe,
we need to start going. We need to start squashing some people.
Maybe we do need to see him wrestle. I'd like to see some gold on him. It's unfortunate. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a nice transition champion from the cruiserweight.
I was gonna say, does he take it off Leon?
Leon Ruff, that could be interesting. That is dangling out there too.
It might go that way, but I think they're going back to Damian with that. Maybe I don't know.
But like, if the cruiser, that could be fun if you wanted to mess with.
He would elevate that,
and he is that size.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to remind people of that fact.
That's what I mean. Is that if you put the cruiserweight belt on him, it's can you really elevate the cruiserweight title to
or
that?
Or is it just an anchor?
I really wish they would just make the cruiserweight championship tournament based, and like once a year or a couple times a year, we just do another cruiserweight classic, and that's it. Because that shit is amazing. Or just make it a tournament based show or something. But I don't have room for more programs like that.
I don't know. I just like having Cruz needs something to fight over, week to week. It just, I guess, it's just kind of the flaws. What I'm saying, you don't want to. You're already lamenting he's small. Don't remind people he's small.
Yeah,
let's make him look bigger. Let's make him believe
don't
that he could. Killian Dane is going to want retribution here. He's going to want to come back and get revenge. If Pete Dunne has the cruiserweight title, that's not a match that's anyone's going to believe.
I mean, I don't think that belt won't have any prominence again until it's never put on a kickoff show again. Once you take stuff like that off the main roster and then you put it on its own show, and then even when you have a main roster pay-per-view, you put it on the kickoff show where no one's even tuning in yet. Like, you show to us that putting this belt on someone really doesn't matter. It doesn't.
But the thing is, they're just afraid to admit people are small.
Yeah, like you said, Vince.
That's what I hate.
If they let the people who are cruiserweights fight over the cruiserweight belt, it would be fun because Adam Cole's a cruiserweight,
Mm-hmm.
Pete Dunne's a cruiserweight, Johnny Wrestling's a cruiserweight, Ciampa's a cruiserweight. You have a lot. Those two fighting over belts, whatever belt they're fighting over, is interesting. But they can't fight over that belt because that's the little guy.
Right.
But this is pro wrestling. Why do we even have weight classes? These are essentially superheroes with fantastical gimmicks, some of them. I wish that we could live in a world where we can believe that David can beat Goliath at any time because of his certain set of skills, as opposed to his certain set of skills. There's always a believability that goes into Johnny Gargano can wrestle on the main roster, but that's not what WWE has built themselves into.
That also speaks to there's a little MMA in the world today. Like, we like weight classes in the world now.
I guess, but I mean, AEW is certainly trying to go more that route of being statistics based and keeping a record and shit like that, which I like. But WWE's never been that bag, so I'm like, let's just. That's why I wish that it would be more like the indies. You know, we have men and women, we have anybody who fights anybody, because we're all evenly matched in the world of pro wrestling. It doesn't matter how big or small we are, or you know, if we're a dude or a girl or whatever. We can all fight. And that's what I like about pro wrestling.
Are and what you have inside of you, Tamina can still injure you.
Yeah.
Kyle wants to see Brock Lesnar Tamina at WrestleMania.
I mean,
why not?
We all want to see that.
I want to see it.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Tony Storm's back.
Tony Storm?
Thickness is in effect.
What'd you say?
Thickness is still in effect.
Oh, the first camera frame. Don't even get me started.
Just don't do that to me.
Yeah, I just wish they need to put Tony on Friday night or something. I mean,
yeah.
We talked about this last week, though, I think.
I'm in it.
Poor Shotzi in her tank.
Shotzi, but I liked her. I guess I liked her little explanation about it. You know, talking about the connection to the military and everything and her family.
I guess this is Veterans Day, but it would have been nice to know, at least have that be a big part of her character beforehand.
Right.
Pandering. Like I mean, you got to pander it now, but like the tank's already dead. Don't tell me now it meant so much. Like, it's already gone. Now I just feel like a dick for not caring when it got ran over.
That's fair.
Like, you should have told me it meant so much. Thought it was a tank. Like, I know where Toys R Us is. You make good NXT money. Let's do another one, dog. Like, they ain't even custom made. Yeah.
Oh man. What else? Did we talk about everything?
That was the week, man.
Yeah, it was a pretty good week. I mean, like, I think with this the summary is that the top of the cards on all these shows, I think we're kind of bought in to the main storylines on all of these shows, really, AEW included.
The only thing we're down on is firing people for supporting unions.
I mean, it's ridiculous and stupid. Just by name only pay-per-views like Survivor Series. There's no Survivor Series. Most Extreme Rules. There's nothing fucking extreme. Just like, it makes me want to go back and watch some Survivor Series from the 90s.
Man.
I mean, they were so good.
They were like four of those matches, and they all.
I did love the nicknames that Matt Riddle gave. I can be Fireface.
Was it
Arium? You can be Dopey. You always get the highest dives of the three of us. That was pretty funny, but I don't care about any of those teams.
No, I definitely don't. Definitely do not.
This was a good week in wrestling.
Good week in wrestling. Riddle got a win. We'll take it.
I told you they weren't burying him.
You did. And I'm sorry I didn't bring it up, but you told me that they weren't burying him, and he got a win, and I was glad to see it. I'm glad to see it.
Sorry, rubbing my nipples again.
It's glorious.
He's
it's
coming
glorious,
back.
Everyone listening. It's glorious.
Yes.
He'll be wrestling Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Keep rubbing.
He'll be wrestling Goldberg.
That's what we all need.
Goldberg, oh my
Goldberg.
But despite it all, even though I get pissed at WWE and everything like that, this is why we keep watching, because it's something fun to talk about, and it's a great escape when the world is insane. That's why I like kayfabe. It's a nice little world I like to escape to a couple nights a week, and it's fun talking about it.
Shit.
I'm high on wrestling.
Yeah, seeing on that positive ass note.
Exactly. We gotta keep it positive, like the new day on here. But I'm sufficiently high. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah,
I'm hungry.
Grubhub, sponsor me.
I'm ready to ride episode.
Sponsor me, Grubhub.
Yeah.
Right,
I know you're listening. Do the right thing.
Ride episode 3. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go wrestle a bear and then eat it.
Come on.
Yo.
That's how I get down.
Anyway, join us next time. This is going to be a weekly thing, Sundays, and then hopefully every Monday we'll have the next episode of the 420 Wrestling Hour. Fun getting high with you guys and talking wrestling. We'll do it again soon.
Boom.
Peace out.
Y'all.